This is Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 9, Text 27, translation. Despite having achieved the desired result of his determination by worshipping the lotus feet of the Lord, Dhruva Maharaj was not very pleased. Thus, he returned to his home. Purport. By worshipping the lotus feet of the Lord in devotional service as instructed by Narada Muni, Dhruva Maharaj achieved the desired result. His desire was to get a very exalted position, excelling those of his father, grandfather, and great-grandfather, and although it was a somewhat childish determination, because Dhruva Maharaj was nothing but a small child, still Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is so kind and merciful that he fulfilled his desire. Dhruva Maharaj wanted a residence more exalted than any ever occupied by anyone else in his family. Therefore he was offered the planet in which the Lord personally resides, and his determination was completely satisfied. Still, when Dhruva Maharaj returned home, he was not very much pleased, because although in pure devotional service there is no demand from the Lord, because of his childish nature, he had demanded something. And although the Lord also fulfilled his desire, he was not very pleased. Rather, he was ashamed that he had demanded something from the Lord, for he should not have done this. Sopi sankalpajam Vishnoho pada se vopasaditam prapya sankalpa nirvanam nati prito bhyagat puram. Despite having achieved the desired result of his determination by worshipping the lotus feet of the Lord, Dhruva Maharaj was not very pleased. Then he returned to his home. And we will also read the previous verse, 26. Maitreya uvacha ityarchitasa bhagavan ati dishyatmana padam balasya pashyato damasvam agad garuda dvajaha. Translation. The great sage Maitreya said, after being worshipped and honored by the boy Dhruva Maharaj and offering him his abode, Lord Vishnu returned to his abode on the back of Garuda as Dhruva Maharaj looked on. Purport. From this verse it appears that Lord Vishnu awarded Dhruva Maharaj the same abode in which he resides. His abode is described in the Bhagavad Gita 15.6, Yad gatva nani vartante tadama paramamama. Thank you. Now, great lesson here in this whole story, and particularly in this verse. Maybe we can say several lessons. So the first thing is that despite achieving the desired material result of his determination, Dhruva Maharaj was not very pleased. And how he has achieved it? By following the instructions of Narada Muni, and Narada Muni instructed him to worship the lotus feet of the Lord. So, we know that in the Bhagavatam it is said, Akama sarva kama va moksha kama udaradi. Then Tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Akama sarva kama va moksha kama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Akama without desire. Kama. Sarva kama. Sarva. Sarva dharman parityaja. Sarva kama.
With desire for everything.
Yes, all desires. Sarva kama. Moksha kama.
For liberation.
So whether one has no material desires, or he has all desires, or he desires liberation, this is also one of the desires, but anyway, it's specifically mentioned, desires liberation, tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param, one should engage in tivrena bhakti yogena. What kind of bhakti yoga is tivrena bhakti yogena?
Very strong.
Yes. Tivrena means intense devotional service, very focused, determined devotional service. And yajeta purusham param, yajeta means what? Yajeta. Yagya? Yajeta means worshipping the Lord. Purusha, parama purusha. Yajeta purusham param. So this verse describes exactly what Narada Muni did. Although Dhruva had a material desire, he instructed him to worship the Lord, because he knows the Lord is the supreme stamp giver. Even if demigods can fulfill some of people's desires, but ultimately it is the Supreme Lord who is giving permission. So if you want to be the most successful Sankirtan devotee in Germany and become famous, today there is not so much competition. Before, devotees were more competitive and they distributed more books. Then you can engage in worshipping the Lord. And you have deities here, you can worship the Lord. So, whether you have material desires or spiritual desires, it's not intelligent to go to the ministers of the king, but to go to the king directly. So therefore, the worship of the demigods, or anyone below the demigods, is described in the Bhagavad Gita how? And? How this is qualified, worshipping of the demigods, how it is qualified? As Alpa Medasa. What does Alpa Medasa mean?
Less intelligent.
Yes, exactly. So, in many places, Srila Prabhupada says, throughout the Gita, throughout the Bhagavatam purports, and also in the verses, that worshipping the demigods, or whoever you were worshipped before, or you worship a pop star or a actor, Bollywood or Hollywood actor, or you worship some philosopher like Nietzsche, or you worship football star, whomever, all these kinds of worship are less intelligent, and of course people worship demigods to get something, to get some material benediction. But Shastra says, even if you want material benediction, you should worship the Supreme Lord. Yajeta Purusham Param. And then another verse is describing also what's happening here, in this verse. Bhukti Mukti Siddhikami Sakalya Shanta Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Atayava Shanta, which means Bhukti Mukti, Bhukta, Mukta, Siddha and Kami, Bhukta, Mukta, Siddha, they have Kama, and they are Sakali Ashanta, which means
Always agitated.
huh?
Always agitated.
Ashanta.
Asha.
What does Shanta means? Shanta. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Huh?
They are unpeaceful. They are disturbed.
Yes, Ashanta means one who is not peaceful. Shanta means peaceful. So Bhukta is also described as Bubukshu. Who is Bhukta?
One who is getting the result. One who is taking the result for himself.
And wants to
Keep it for himself.
and
Enjoy.
yes. So Bhukta is one who wants to enjoy the fruits of his activities. Mukta, Mumukshu, another name for Mukta is Mumukshu, and Mukta is who?
One is liberated.
No. One who wants to achieve liberation. Siddha is Siddha?
The 8 cities, the 8 mystics.
Yeah, but the person, Siddha, who is the person?
Who wants the excellencies.
Huh?
Who wants to get
And who is he?
Siddhi.
Yeah, but who is this person?
Yogi.
Yogi. Yes, he is a yogi. So, Bhukta, Mukta and Yogi, or Siddha, one who wants mystic perfections, they all are Ashanta. So as long as you have even a little material desire, you will not be peaceful. You tell me you want, maybe you tell me, I just want to be peaceful. But Shastra describes that if you have even a little material desire, you will not be peaceful. And then, opposite to this, Krishna Bhakta Nishkama. Nishkama?
Without desiring fruits.
No, it's not that it doesn't have desire, because the symptom of the soul is desire, but doesn't have material desires. Nishkama, Krishna Bhakta, we know who is Krishna Bhakta, it's you. Krishna Bhakta, or you are aspiring to be. Krishna Bhakta Nishkama, Atayava Shanta. Krishna Bhakta is Shanta. Which means?
Always peaceful.
Only he can be peaceful. Only he can be peaceful. So we see Dhruva is not peaceful because he was striving for material desire. And I was studying a little bit some success literature, looking for tools for devotees. And they say, if you can conceive it and believe it, you can achieve it. So they say, visualize fulfillment of your desire. But Shastra is saying, if you have material desires, you will not be peaceful. And they say, desire it, be passionate. Live with passion. Be passionate. And we are teaching, be sattvic. Be in the mode of goodness. We say, live in goodness. And they say, live with passion. And some people say, it's folly to be wise. It's foolish. Folly to be wise where ignorance is bliss. Therefore, be ignorant. So 3 types of teachers we have. One is teaching to be ignorant, drink, get crazy. One is teaching to be passionate, get into fruitive activities, to enjoy the results of your activities, visualize the fulfillment of your desires. Many people are proud that they have visualized something and they even have a vision board. They even have a picture of the house they wanted, and now they have that house, like in America, some people. And they are so proud. I was visualizing this house and now I have it. Maybe he has a mortgage for 50 years, but still he has this house. And the car also. And not one car, 2 cars, 2 garage. And they also have a dog. Big dog. And a swimming pool on Beverly Hills. But Shastra says, you can fulfill your material desires, but you cannot be peaceful. So imagine you have a boat which is on the river Niagara, and it's floating, and on this boat you have great entertainment, you have wonderful things happening there, but this boat is going towards Niagara Falls. So this is our life. We are going towards death, and we try to enjoy a few years that are in between now and our death. And if one is sinful, his death will be a big fall down. Maybe even to lower species of life. So now, we have teachers that people sometimes compare with Srila Prabhupada. Teachers from India, they teach about goodness. Some of them teach about bhakti, and people are so impressed. They are very smart or very wise. But who has said such heavy things as Srila Prabhupada? And he said, and even he says, I'm not saying what I think. I'm not saying what I think. I'm saying what acharyas are saying towards the centuries, throughout the centuries. The same message, which is not easy for conditioned souls to swallow. The reality is that we are dying every single day. And we try to be happy this couple of years. Instead of doing what? Doing yagya or sacrifice. And many people who know about yagya, they do yagya, but their goal is going to heavenly planets. Going to heavenly planets. Enjoying 10,000 years. And there is previous verse, I was thinking today is verse 25, because I read 22, 23, and there was one day, 24, that I didn't give class, and 25 I thought today is this 25th verse, and in this verse, Vishnu says to Dhruva, you will be able to enjoy material happiness. And when you read this, you say, yes, this is exactly, I want to enjoy material happiness to the fullest, and at the end of life remember the Lord and go back to Godhead. And this is exactly what he told him. And if there were not for Srila Prabhupada to explain what it means, how he would enjoy material happiness, then we would be misguided. So this is why we need the purport. Because we misunderstand according to our own projection, our own inclination. So Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, he will be enjoying material happiness not by sense gratification. Not by sense gratification, he will be enjoying material happiness by what?
For enjoying sacrifice.
Yes, by yagya, by sacrifices. He will be giving charity. This is also enjoyment. To give charity, because it is said that you get results of the sacrifice. You get some enjoyment, results of the sacrifice. So we are not only lucky that we have a translation of the Bhagavatam, but we are lucky that we have commentaries which explain the meaning of verses. And Srila Prabhupada explains, based on the parampara, on the succession of acharyas. So this is very authoritative knowledge. And we believe in Mahajans. Mahajano yena gatak sapanta. In the Mahabharata it is said, Tarko pratishta ashrutayo vibina nasa vrishirya syamatam nabinam Dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam mahajano yegata sapanta. The truth is hidden in the hearts of Mahajans. This is where we can get it from. Tarko pratishta shrutaya vibhina nasavrishir. That you are not a Muni if you don't have a different opinion. So you have to have a different philosophy, different opinion. And nowadays, some people say, oh, I have invented this, and I'm teaching this, it's different than others. And then some teachers who are more honest and more wise, they say, actually, there is nothing new under the sun. All these people are teaching the same things, just packaged differently. There are eternal principles of success. And this is what we are looking for, timeless principles of success, and they are given in the scriptures so clearly. Timeless principles. And these principles are actually laws of God. These are laws of God. So if you act in line with laws of God, in harmony with the laws of God, your probability of success is very much increased. Now, even if you follow everything, this is not enough for your success. Because there is a supreme permitter or supreme stamp giver, the Supreme Lord. So we know that even if we follow everything He said, He is not obliged to give us result. So the factor of Lord's mercy, or in the Bhagavad Gita there is 5 factors of action, one of them is the super soul. We consider 5 factors of action. Swamin Kritartosmi Varanayache, Dhruva said to Lord Vishnu, my dear Lord, I was looking for broken glass and I have gotten a most beautiful jewel. So this is the realization that all of us have to come to. We have still not realized that we are looking for broken glass. We still have desire for some material happiness, material success. People get attracted to this movement, and then we say, why don't you join full time? And they say, I have so many duties. But actually these duties made them so frustrated that they were looking for something else and they have found Krishna consciousness. And now when they have a chance to do something else, they take as an excuse something they don't like. And they tell devotees, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. They become, all of a sudden, they become very dutiful. But they hated these duties. So maybe you had this experience that from the very beginning of your Krishna consciousness, you had an excuse why not to surrender. So this tendency to make excuses will continue for a long time. And we have to slowly give it up. So if you ask yourself, why I'm not surrendering fully, then you can make a list of reasons. And these reasons are technically called excuses. So we spoke about this, I think, in the beginning of the seminar, that the questions, about the excellent questions, what would you like to have in your life, results or excuses? And if we have excuses, then we cannot expect big results. So if you make a list of reasons why I think I cannot surrender to Krishna, what are your reasons? I cannot surrender to Krishna fully. And we don't force people to live in the temple. Even someone who lives outside can be surrendered, even more sometimes than the temple devotee. But just full dedication to the service of the Lord. Even if one is living outside, he can be a pure devotee. Even if you are rich, you can be a pure devotee. These are not necessarily the impediments. And now Dhruva is coming to a situation where he has no more reasons to make excuses. Because he has got everything he wanted. And one also interesting lesson is that this whole thing is because he was very emotional, he was hurt. So he was such an exalted person, but still his false ego was hurt. There was still some attachment. And he was such an exalted personality. Very, very highly exalted personality. So we learn from this that it will take a long time for us to fully purify, to become fully purified. And you may become very exalted and you can still make some mistakes. Like Bharata Maharaj, he was on a level of bhava and still he got attached to a little deer. So how much more we have to be cautious? So what is lesson for us in this is that we have to give up this game of trying to balance Maya and Krishna. Many devotees try to play this game. Little Maya, little Krishna, little Maya, little Krishna. Now, this is not the same as Varnashram, where you engage your inclinations or your material qualifications and tendencies in the service of the Lord under the guidance of the spiritual master or under the guidance of your other spiritual guides. So you engage and you purify these tendencies. That's different. It's not the same. And sometimes I'm joking. During prasadam, I ask devotee who sit near me, Prabhu, can you give me an advice? How can I remain in Maya and appear to be Krishna conscious? So now you may say, well, I would never ask this. That's stupid. It's like you are asking him, can you teach me how to cheat? But this is actually what we are doing when we are trying to balance Maya and Krishna. We are trying to balance Maya and Krishna. How can I remain in Maya and appear to be Krishna conscious? So there is sometimes a type of devotees, you never see them, and then when Guru comes, they are in the first row. They do everything for Guru Maharaj for a couple of days and then they disappear again. So, do you think that Krishna consciousness is so cheap or that Krishna can be cheated? Krishna can be deceived with this? Like, you saw your Guru Maharaj for 3 days and then the rest of the time you are in deep Maya. And now you think Krishna and Guru will be impressed. And sometimes you see such devotees feeling so depressed because Guru neglects them. Because Guru doesn't even look at them because he knows they are making a big show of devotional service. And Guru looks at the one who is in the back and he says, you come here, sit here. And then the other devotee who is pretending to be a very advanced devotee, he's hurt. I'm teaching one principle very often, but I didn't mention it so much. I did mention it a little bit in the first part of the seminar, I think. It's described also in the 32nd verse of the 2nd chapter, where Krishna says, you think that this fighting is a problem. I tell you, rare people get this opportunity. It's not a problem, it's an opportunity. So here we see the problem and the attachment of Dhruva Maharaj was turned into an opportunity by the magic instruction of Sri Narada Muni. And his instruction was simple: worship the Supreme Lord. So the magic is in serving the Lord, in worshipping the Lord. Then iron becomes gold. Iron becomes gold. So his whole problem became a great opportunity, and he got an amazing result. And the Lord himself came and gave him so many benedictions. And so sometimes people tell me, what can I do? I have these desires in my heart. And, I would like to fulfill them if Krishna allows me. But if you are practicing Krishna consciousness seriously, what will happen is that they become insignificant. They are not strong enough anymore. They are not valuable for you. They are not attractive very much. Maybe you wanted to become famous, for example. And then you get all the jais at the Sankirtan meeting or at the end of the year. Everybody's jaying you and you start to feel actually a little bit embarrassed. So much jai for me just because I won the marathon. Is there anyone of you here that you won the marathon? Okay. So, and you see, so what's the use of people glorifying me? They should glorify Krishna. They should glorify Krishna's pure devotees. And, I know I'm not pure. I know I'm not so advanced. So why they are glorifying me so much? So once one devotee told me, they wrote something, and I say jai, and they said, don't jai me. In other words, don't...
praise.
Huh?
Don't praise.
So something like this. Don't praise or don't try to be too positive. So don't try to be too positive, because life is depressing. Life is black. And one, my friend from Alachua, Florida, she's an amazing devotee. She's helping others. She's a coach, helping devotees with difficult problems, really serious problems. And she says, my experience is that people are attached to their suffering. So, are we honest enough? Are we honest enough to admit that we are attached to our own misery, to our own suffering? And then we ask this question, so why is that people are attached to their suffering? I mean, you can give you different answers, and one answer could be, because this is where they find security, that they are accustomed to find shelter in the material energy, even if it's painful, but at least I have something, at least I have my Maya. But in Krishna consciousness, I don't know if I am in Brahman or if I'm where I am. I have no this realization that I'm a devotee. And at least I know I'm a real karmi. And sometimes devotees lose their identity in Krishna consciousness. They don't know who they are. Then they go back to their old identity, maybe grow mustache or beard, or put a ring here or here or here or everywhere, and then they feel, I have some identity, or put a tattoo. It may be Nisimhadev tattoo or chakra, but you have to have something that I have a tattoo, I don't want to be the same as others. Or make your hair green. I don't know if you have punks. Maybe you have skinheads here or Nazis in Germany, but you have to have, in England, when in 78, when I visited for the first time, there was like the punk was at the peak. And you have green hair, all kinds of colors. So people are looking for their identity in some bodily designation, and devotees sometimes also they don't know who I am anymore. So let me have some identity. Maybe I become a lawyer or something, some kind of material identity, so that I can feel I have identity. Otherwise, I will go crazy. I don't have identity anymore because I don't know. These people are saying I'm not this body. I'm not. Why are you laughing? If you start doing what I'm doing, you will meet devotees who have lost their identity. And then you need to help them. So therefore I say you have to choose who you are on this planet. This gives you some identity. You're a preacher, you're a cleaner, you're a cook, you're a pujari. Identify with your varna. And with ashrama it's not so easy to identify, because we have strange ashramas. We have a phenomenon of brahmachari playboy. You know this? Brahmachari who wants to, talk to women or even do more than that, but keep himself orange. Keep yourself orange for the public, but actually you are a very, very strong playboy. And then when they say you should get married, you get insulted, offended. Me married? Me in white? No way. So why do you talk to Mataji so much? Well, I'm preaching. I'm compassionate to all conditioned souls, especially those souls who have a beautiful female body. I remember once in Belgrade, one new person came, and this new person was a beautiful young girl. And then so many preachers were enthusiastic to save her. To save her from the suffering in the material world. So, in ISKCON, it's you can cheat for some time, but you cannot cheat forever. So therefore people don't like ISKCON, because everything gets exposed here, sooner or later. And if ISKCON devotees don't expose it, you have so many envious groups who will expose everything on the internet. So many envious groups who hate ISKCON gurus, hate ISKCON devotees, and they will expose every small mistake you make. And for us, we can just say thank you. If we are honest, because if we are hiding and presenting ourselves as a great Paramahamsa, but we are secretly or publicly doing nonsense, then somebody has to address it. And because everybody is afraid, because you are a senior or whatever, to say it, because they are afraid to go to hell because of Vaishnava Parad, then you have people who are not afraid to go to hell. And they consider it a great service to humanity to expose some cheating. Of course, they sometimes get too fired up, and sometimes they make up things. They lie also because they are envious. And so this is not good. But what is real, the real criticism is good, because they expose it with nobody's afraid to expose it. So if you ask why Krishna allows these things to happen, this is the reason. And this is why I love ISKCON. you will be exposed. We will be exposed. Somehow Krishna will expose us. And we will feel so bad. So don't try to live a lie. Better be honest, demon. I don't recommend this. Sorry, I got too fired up. Better be an honest demon. Admit to yourself that you have demoniac desires. Because honesty doesn't mean to remain a demon. You think, I'm honest, I admit I have anarthas. Admitting your weaknesses, it's just the beginning of honesty. People think, I'm honest, I'm admitting I have material attachments and anarthas and material desires. This is not honesty, this is the beginning of honesty. Honesty means you work on getting free from these things. This is honesty. This is real honesty. And Prabhupada describes honesty. Honesty means to work in line with 529, and please you quote me this verse. What is the peace formula?
Yeah. First line, probably.
You see, we have some devotees who remember important verses. Bhaktaram and Su and Gyatva? Yes, Gyatva Mam Shantim Richati. So Shantim Richati means achieving peace. And Srila Prabhupada also used this verse to describe honesty. Honesty means to work in line with the 3 points. A Lord is Bhokta, Bhoktaram Yagatapasam. He is the enjoyer of your or yagyas or tapasyas or activities. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He is the master of all the planets and all the demigods. And Suhridam Sarva Bhuktanam, he is the best friend of all living entities. So if you act in line with these 3 principles, and Prabhupada says preachers of this movement should preach these 3 points a lot, you are honest and also you can achieve peace. I mean, if you are honest, you have a clear conscience. Not consciousness, conscience. You have clear conscience and you can be peaceful. So we see that honesty is connected to being peaceful. If we are honest, we are peaceful. So, therefore I said, I think yesterday, that we have a long time of becoming honest, what to speak of becoming a pure devotee. First become honest with yourself, become honest with others. And honesty doesn't mean just admitting your weaknesses. Honesty means working hard to overcome these weaknesses. Don't misunderstand honesty. I am honest. I just say, I cannot serve Krishna. This is not honest. This is rascaldom. I am honestly admitting I cannot chant my rounds. Prabhupada said, if you cannot chant 16 rounds, you are an animal. Prabhupada says this. And he says, if you don't finish 16 rounds in one day, then next day don't eat and don't sleep. You have to finish 16 rounds or make it up. Make it up. So how we will show Krishna that we are serious about our japa? We need to complete 16 rounds. Every single day. And what to do if you are sleepy in the evening? Cold shower. Hare Krishna. No sleeping. Determination. I have to finish my rounds. My dear mind, please shut up. No sleeping. Oh, tomorrow you're going to chant 16 plus 8, 24 early in the morning. And then when the alarm clock goes in the morning, you say, oh, I'm so tired. And then again, you bring rounds to another day. Then the number of brought rounds increases. And you're getting into red into debt to the Lord, into red, like in the bank, you're getting into red and you feel bad. So do everything you can to finish your rounds within one day, and the best is to finish. Actually, Prabhupada said the best time to chant is before Mangalarati. 16 rounds, he did it. Then second best is until 7 o'clock. Second best is until 10 o'clock. And everything else is not second best or third best. But, I mean, the least, the last time is before you go to sleep. Even if it's 4 o'clock the next morning. But so, if you show Krishna, if nothing I do, but at least I want to show you I'm serious about my 60 rounds. So therefore, I don't want to sleep. I want to finish my rounds. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. You show Krishna this sacrifice, he will say, this guy is serious. He is crazy, he is stupid, but he's serious. So let me help him. The next day, you finish by 7 and you are flying. You have wings. You can jump off the building and don't do that. Don't do this. Don't do this because you may think, oh, now I finished 16 rounds, I can fly. But don't do this. Better take a... so, but I mean, you know what I mean, that you feel so inspired and empowered that you can serve Krishna whole day. And don't stop with 16 rounds, please. You can, if you like, you can put away your beads, but continue to chant without beads. Don't think, oh, now I have finished. And I will not chant any more rounds or any more Maha mantras the whole day. No, you have just warmed up with 16 rounds to chant whole day. You want the Lord to dance on your tongue. And you often, a couple of times during the day, you wash your tongue, you wash your mouth, glug, 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 poop. And you want your mouth to be clean so the Lord can dance. So you want to chant whole day. 16 is what? 16 is minimum. 16 is minimum. So don't stop there. Don't say, I have finished. No, you have just started. Imagine you finished 16 rounds and you have been sweating. It was so hard for you. The mind was bringing you all over the universe. And then Lord Nityananda comes when you finish 16 rounds and said, you know what, I would really like you to chant 16 more rounds. And you say, oh no, I have barely finished 16, now I need to chant 16 more. This is really, really hard. And then you finish 16 more, that's 32, and you think, now I can sleep, eat, or watch YouTube. And then the Lord comes again and say, you have been chanted so enthusiastically 32 rounds, please do 16 more. And then you say, okay, my Lord, I'm going to jump in the Ganga. This is too much. And commit suicide. So imagine, I mean, you can easily imagine Krishna coming and saying, I would like to chant 16 more. When you finish your rounds. Yes, I'm finished my rounds, now I can read. I finished my rounds, now I can eat, or I can sleep. I can take rest because I got so tired by chanting. Or I can, watch some scientific video, or watch a movie in which for 2 seconds one man says Hare Krishna. So I consider this movie to be Krishna conscious. And the rest of the movie is not Krishna conscious. But I heard that senior devotees are watching this movie because somebody said Krishna in this movie. So I'm going to watch it very enthusiastically. So thank you very much for listening. Sorry to keep you so long. I got too fired up. Do you have any question? One question, because it's late, yeah?
So instead of asking how to be in Maya, but yet appear to be Krishna conscious, I want to ask this question. How to be fully Krishna conscious but yet appear to be working under Maya's influence?
But this we are already doing. We are Krishna conscious, but we are still under Maya's influence. So maybe you are asking how to work in Maya's kingdom.
Yes.
Okay. How to be Krishna conscious and work in Maya's kingdom? It is said that be in this world but not of this world, or be like a lotus flower who is in this pond, but he is untouched by mud, and if some water comes, then easily this water slips on the sides, so remains pure. This flower remains pure. So always, when any contamination comes to us, we should just reject it. We should not accept it. And it all depends on how much we control the mind. So if Maya offers you something, you say, no, sorry, I don't want this. Offers you some simple enjoyment or some material reward. You may accept material things to engage them in Krishna's service, but you don't accept for your own sense gratification. So we should learn the art of saying no to Maya and saying yes to Krishna every minute of the day. And we all have this challenge every minute of the day. And we know when we are making a compromise. We know it because from inside we have a radar, or we have a signal. We have a signal from inside that now you are making a compromise with Maya. Don't do this. So this is also means becoming honest. Honest in front of the Lord who is in your heart. Even, in front of others, you may pretend that you are devoted, but you know, like sometimes people praise me, and I said, well, Krishna knows who I am. Krishna knows who I am. He is here. He is witness, supreme witness. Upadrashta anumantacha. So we have to become honest. When you become honest, then you can work in the kingdom of Maya and not be affected, or affected very little. Everybody is affected to some extent, but don't allow Maya to drag you very deep. And it is said, avaranatmika shakti and prakshepatmika shakti. Avaranatmika shakti and prakshepatmika shakti are two roles of the material energy to cover you over and to drag you down. So we have that experience. Maya covers us over, cover our consciousness, and then drag us down to be degraded, engaging degrading activity. So don't allow this. Show Krishna that you don't want to be covered over and dragged down. And pray for protection. Pray for protection. Yeah?
Just one question for you.
Okay.
So it's about praying actually. So if suppose I'm praying to Krishna, then please Krishna, every day if I'm praying to Krishna, please Krishna allow me to serve you purely without any tinge of material desires. And suppose Krishna has a plan for me, and he decided, okay, at this time of his lifetime, I will purify all his desires. Before that, he will have some material desires. But if I'm praying like this every day, will it influence Krishna to make it even faster and fulfill my desire even before when he desired to fulfill it? Is it going to make any effect? So basically, is prayer going to make an effect?
Which desire? To fulfill material desire or spiritual?
If I pray like this, that please Krishna, remove all my material desires and allow me to serve you purely. So if I pray like this, but Krishna has a plan for me, maybe that I want him to become a pure devotee. Pure devotee, I mean like pure serve purely at this stage of time. But if I pray like this every day, will it bring that time closer?
This is a very important question. I think it's a very important question. But it's not that I want to respond directly to your question. You say, will this bring me closer to my goal, which is definitely can be true, but now our experience shows us what Krishna is telling us in relation to prayer. And how to pray is also very important. How to pray. So you can pray for very high things, but if you're not ready, it can be dangerous. And Krishna can test you, give you tests that you cannot pass. So better pray for the next step forward, or next few steps forward. Don't pray too high, too soon. You understand?
Yes.
I have seen devotees say, I was preaching to them, pray high, and they pray high and they burn themselves so much. Krishna, he says, Krishna is now testing me like anything, and I am dying, and I am thinking of leaving Krishna consciousness because this is not for me. So try to offer a realistic prayer, like, Mighty Lord, please help me pass the next test, but the test that I can pass. Don't make it too easy and don't make it too hard, this test, but give me a test that will bring me closer to you one step or several steps. Several steps. So try to offer prayer that is in line with your present level and your present advancement, and you want to go one step up or one step forward. And in this way, I think step by step you can come to the level you want, ultimately. But you can pray for him to show you the way how you can faster get to this level. And he may show you the way, and you may say, oh my God, this is quite challenging. He's showing me the way. Let me see if I can accept this at this point. And this story is so instructive. Dhruva admitted to his guru that he is not ready for this high instruction. Or also, you can say high prayer. He didn't even pray for it. He prayed for, we know what he prayed for. He prayed for the planet. And Lord fulfilled this, but Lord is offering him the highest thing, offering to him the highest thing. So we see that he was you are a devotee, you are serving. That means you are a very exalted personality, but at the same time, you are not fully established on a safe level. And Dhruva admitted to his guru that I am not on such a high level, please give me some under instruction and please let me try to fulfill this. And Narada adjusted immediately. Narada is a very flexible preacher. His preaching is service. His preaching is not about him, it's about the person he preaches to. That's very important in preaching also. Your preaching is not about you. No. And you see how in this story, how he came to that level. Gradually he came to that level. And he had to go through something. He had to get something. But later it didn't mean so much to him. But he had to go through certain stages. So always when you think about your advancement, think about stages and think which stage is realistic. Which is my stage now? How can I go to a next level? What would be a next challenge but that I can pass, or the next test? And in this way, slowly you can go very far. But if you immediately pray too high, and Krishna is giving you big tests, then you can burn yourself and you can get scared and run away. So don't do that. Okay? Srila Prabhupada ki jai.